Hey there, and welcome to DIY Projects with Pete. Today we're going to take a quick tour of the shop. Come on in. So I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys and gals asking about what my shop setup looks like and what everything looked like in the beginning when I was first getting started making YouTube videos. So this is going to be a little bit of a behind the scenes type video where we do a walk around of the shop and where I point out some things that I might not typically talk about in your average DIY video. Before we get started, I want to give a huge thank you and a shout out to each and every one of you guys and gals for all of your support. The DIY Projects with Pete YouTube channel just hit 100,000 subscribers last month, and it would not have happened without all of your support, without you guys and gals subscribing, and without you taking action, downloading plans, and trying out all of these projects. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I truly am humbled. Without you, I would not have the opportunity to get to teach and inspire on a daily basis, which is what I'm passionate about, and I get to do it for a living, and so I'm truly humbled. Thank you so much. In light of this, I'm going to do a little bit of a giveaway, so stick around for the entire video. I'm going to tell you how you can get a $250 tool scholarship. I'll be giving 2 away at the end of the video, so stick around. All right, let's take a look. This is the backdrop to where I film the majority of my projects. One of the questions I get all the time is, Pete, how big is your shop? And the answer is, I build all of my projects out of my 2-stall garage that's attached to my home and that I've slowly improved over time. It hasn't always looked like this. In fact, when I moved in, it was your average garage that people actually park their cars in. And I can't say that I've parked my cars in here really ever. Because woodworking's such a priority, that's what this space is used for. And none of the walls were painted when I moved in. There was no TV, no big workbench. It was just your plain old garage. And one of the things I do realize is that so many of you folks are very creative and you use what you have, and that's what's important. For me, it's my garage. For you, you might be in a high-rise in New York City, and it might be out on your balcony that you're building projects. Maybe it's in a shared workspace. Tito from Kenya, Africa, who's built all sorts of projects on this website, he builds a lot of his projects outside in his small village. So use what space you have, be creative, and enjoy your projects. Okay, let's keep going. So I use this flat surface all the time for building my projects, and I can move it around the shop. It has some storage on the back side for tools, and then I can move it over here. And we'll take a look at my other workbench. This is where I store a lot of my tools. It's just a nice flat work surface to have. I kind of hang things. So this upper shelf is typically filled with some of the brands that I'm working with. Sometimes on the TV I'll have the brand name as well if I'm not watching a Minnesota sports team or the Nebraska Cornhuskers or Montana State Bobcats play. This is a new heater that I got installed this last winter. It's been a lifesaver because it gets very cold out here in Montana, so it's been a big improvement. I have my tool chest right next to my workbench. This is where I store a lot of different things, mostly tools and screws and all that kind of stuff. As you can see, it's not super well organized. Yours is probably more organized than mine, but hey, it works. This side of the shop basically houses all the scrap wood and the lumber I've accumulated over the years. Now, no matter how big your shop is, I swear you never have enough space for this type of stuff. To help organize it though, I did build some basic shelves out of 2x4s and plywood, so if you need a simple shelf solution, that's your answer, and I do have a post on that as well. And then I also just have some metal scraps, some larger things toward the top, and more metal scraps from plasma cutting and welding projects over here. You see that I also have some of my tools. A lot of them are on wheels so that I have them out of the way, and that's because my shop's just not that big, and so it helps to be able to get things out of the way if I'm working on various projects and need the extra space. My table saw is generally toward the back of my garage, kind of by the garage door, and it's on wheels, and then I can just go like this to put it in one place, and it's very sturdy. My miter saw setup is usually toward the garage door side of my shop. I have it on a stand so that I'm at a nice level for working. It's got the wings to help hold larger pieces in place while you're working with them, and I can easily move it around when I need to. This is probably the ugliest part of my shop, and I try to not show it in my videos because it's just a bunch of cans and stuff all over the place. I got this shelf actually at a garage sale probably 3 or 4 years ago for $10. It's all 4x4s and 2x4s, and it's done the job. I'll probably upgrade at some point, but works for now. Moving on, I have some sawhorses and a lot of my scrap plywood over here just leaning against the wall. I think that I'll probably build some sort of a storage unit for that plywood so that it's better organized. Here's a look at my borrow board that I use to help keep track of some of the tools that I lend out. I realize that my friends and family don't have every single tool for every project, and if they just need to borrow something quick for the weekend, and maybe it requires a special tool that I don't want to have them go spend a bunch of money on that they're only going to use once or twice, they can put their name and what they borrowed and the date, and then as long as they return it in good condition and on time, I'm happy. Usually I get a little thank you note or a 6-pack of beer or something, and I have plenty of tools and usually a couple of each thing, so it's not a big deal. But that's my borrow board.
It's important to have really good lighting when you're working on your projects, and this is actually what my home came with when I bought it, but it's just a bunch of fluorescent lights spread evenly around the ceiling.
I got to make sure I give a shout out to Jared Duncan from Personally Yours Home Furnishings. He made me this awesome sign when I was first getting started, and it's hung there ever since. Thanks, Jared. Another place where I spend a lot of time is up in the office, and that's because building and filming a project is really just a small portion of what goes on before a project goes live on the internet. There's video editing that needs to happen, there's photos that need to be edited, a post that needs to be written, plans that need to be made, and social media that has to be taken care of. So lots of stuff that goes on. I do all that up here in the office, and I use this microphone to do a lot of the voice overlays, this computer along with a video editing software to make the videos, and then I have this extra monitor that I use because I have sort of an outline that I go off of when I am doing my voice overlays. So that's my office. I hope you enjoyed checking out the behind the scenes tour of my shop. As promised, for sticking around for this entire video, I want to let you in on the 2 $250 tool scholarships that I'm giving away. I'm personally taking this money out of my own pocket and giving it to 2 lucky people because I really want to help others in getting started with building, and if a couple scholarships will help a few people, that's where we're going to get started, and hopefully I can give more in some upcoming videos. To get entered, you can go to DIYPete.com/toolsforyou. That's where you can find all of the information. And basically all you're going to have to do is make a video telling me why you enjoy DIY projects and how it's made a difference in your life for the better. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you like DIY projects. Cheers from Montana.